If you thought that video game addiction wasn't a real one, the news that an increasing number of Australian teenagers are being treated for it might come as a rude shock.
Alcohol, tobacco, cocaine, angry birds. It sounds like a joke, but the same clinics treating people for drug and alcohol dependency are now offering programs for video game addiction. The American Medical Association says almost 90% of teenagers play video games, and as many as 15% may be addicted. And while compulsive gaming won't lead to a life of crime and despair, it can cause serious social, educational and health problems.
Significant mood swings and link that in with the amount of time spent and, interacting with a TV or a computer screen rather than real-life people.
Now, let's be clear. Video games aren't inherently bad for you, like hard drug use or the films of Rob Schneider. And the point isn't that too much gaming is bad for you. Too much of anything is bad for you. That's what too much means. The problem is when gaming starts to take over your life. 3 gold stars. It's long been known that games trigger the brain's pleasure centres in the same way that drugs or alcohol do. But what's insidious is that games are now designed to activate this reward system, just like poker machines drip-feeding gamblers with tiny payoffs. Online game World of Warcraft has even been accused of exploiting its 10 million players with its manipulative design. An epidemic of gaming addiction is frightening enough, but what's worse is the thought that designers may be doing it on purpose.
Dr. Andrew Campbell has been researching game and internet addiction for 10 years. Now, Andrew, is video game addiction actually a recognised medical condition?
Well, it's a really good question. If we go back 10 years ago, it definitely wasn't. But at the moment, it's coming into play that, probably is going to be an addictive problem that can be recognised as a medical condition.
Now, Andrew, is there something universal in these games that can make you addicted to it? Can anyone become addicted, or do you have to be predisposed to that kind of thing?
Look, anyone could probably become addicted, but we sort of believe there's a spectrum of addiction. In other words, there's those who might have addictive type personalities versus those who just are really obsessed with the game and want to play it to the max until it gets pretty boring. I suppose the difference is between, becoming addicted to one game like Angry Birds versus being addicted to an online world where there's lots of other people playing with you and spur you on, and you want to get better than them and they want to get better than you and so on.
Andrew, what's the worst case of addiction you've heard of?
The worst one I've particularly seen is a client I had a couple of years ago who just literally wanted to give up everything in life, from going to uni, giving up sport, giving up his social life, including a relationship he was in. Essentially, he got to the point where he wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating, and even chose not to bathe.
Andrew, I was going to ask what warning signs parents should look for, but it actually affects grown-ups as well. So what should someone look for in their partner or their children that might be a sign that they may be addicted?
Well, when we look for under 18, we're looking for kids that are literally becoming a little bit more antisocial and sometimes even a bit more aggressive. Their mood swings are a little bit more erratic than normal. Particularly, they're disinterested in doing anything that they used to do and got pleasure from. So if they're big on sport before and giving that up to play the game, there's a warning sign. As for over 18, well, definitely if your spouse is noticing mood swings in you as well, then it's about time to sit down and have that chat and say, well, what's important in our marriage or what's important in our relationship.
Andrew, thanks for your time.
Oh, your pleasure.
And you can head to the project website for info on Andrew's clinic, Clear Horizons. And as always, if you have any concerns about mental health, you can call Lifeline on 13 11 14.